Hello, all. Susan Winter here. Thank you for joining me. I've already got some lovely people with me here. And today's discussion is when your partner puts you and the relationship on pause. Now, it is so hard to tell initially because they're probably not giving you a lot of information. Is this them kind of slowly backpedaling out of the relationship? Do you think it's a slow fade to an exit? Are they hopefully regrouping because it's early days? They got a little skittish. They don't know what's going on. Maybe they pulled away. They got glitchy. I'll tell you a story about that in just a minute. But today, I want to say hi to everybody. We have Golden Hawk. You're going to have to forgive me. Again, 3 more weeks for my glasses. We've got Golden Hawk. We've got Phil. We've got E.T. here and Brian. And let's see who else. B is here, our fabulous B. And there was somebody, I think it was Beach Girl. Beach Girl, are you Callie Beach Girl on IG? I wish I knew your real names. At any rate, let's talk about this most uncomfortable and anxiety-ridden bit of transit, because there's no concrete answer and no resolution. You're left hanging. Now, I'm going to start with Wouter's letter. And if you don't know how to write me and get an answer from me, go to susanwinter.net, go to the contact page. The very last bit of business says Q&A. I may answer you in an email, as I did with Wouter months ago. I may answer you on the podcast, The Susan Winter Show. I might answer you here or in a pre-recorded video that I put out at the top of the week. So, Wouter, hopefully you're with us today. I don't know if you are. That'd be great if you stopped by. Hello, Richard. So nice to see you. And here's another Susan. Okay. Now let's go on with this. Okay. So Wouter writes, "Hi, Susan. Love your work. What if someone you're dating suddenly hits the pause button? We met on vacation, had the most romantic day, but he had to leave the next day. We'd planned to sleep together in the same bed until it was time to go. Then at the last minute, he says you're going to love this one, too much of a commitment to sleep in the same bed." Okay, that's my words, not his. He wants to be free when he continues his travel. I feel put on hold. Any thought? Wouter, I am so sorry, but I'm going to call it like I see it. You weren't just put on hold. You were put bye-bye. He was done. Now, let's take a look at the construction of this. This is an entry-level relationship, meaning you're on holiday. Everything was magical, because love affairs on a holiday are completely different than love affairs in real life. You are suspended in a reality that is brighter, more beautiful, more fantastic, and all of your senses are alive. So, Wouter, you met somebody, you had incredible chemistry, you either hooked up or didn't hook up or were planning to, and he changed his mind. Very low commitment to a holiday love affair. So I am sorry for you. You just keep moving. Chalk it up to a beautiful part of the memory of your trip. This is on an entry level, very, very, very new beginnings, okay? I'm going to stop for just a minute, say hi to everybody, and go right back. So those of you watching the replay, don't get bored. I would do the same to you if you were here. I want to say hi to S. Kamat. Absolutely adore you. Okay. Raj Kishore. Hello, Raj. And Richard, we love Richard. Happy birthday, Gwyneth Sharps. Oh my goodness. That's right. Happy birthday, Gwyneth. And Galactic Woman and Jesus and Tiffany are here. We got Jesus in the house. Yep, we got it going on this channel. Happy birthday to Gwyneth. What do we have here? Golden Hawk, $10. You sweet, wonderful person. Let me know if I can answer for you. Thank you very much. If you want to make sure that I see any of your questions, just put it into super chat. Okay, so let's talk about anxious attachment versus justifiable insecurity. And Gwyneth, help me look, as a matter of fact, if Golden Hawk has a question. Huge thanks for all of your support, monetary, emotional, energetic, and showing up. Attachment theory is so dominant right now. And combine that with narcissism in your title, and you've got a home run. Is it a real thing? Yes. Here's my problem with this. So many of you are dating on very skittish soil. You don't have traction, you don't have a commitment, you don't have a foundational discussion about the relationship, and they pull one on you and pull away. Of course, you're going to feel insecure. Everybody always feels insecure or unstable when we don't have resolution. We don't have information. It's easier to have somebody break up with you or say, I'm not into this at all, goodbye. That's concrete. But everybody feels a sense of anxious connection and insecurity when they're dating somebody that's either uh, future faked them, promised them things that were never going to happen, that they knew they couldn't do and didn't intend to from the beginning, making these grand plans or huge overtures as if they really care, words that they are interested, daydreaming about the future, helping you build the dream to attach to them. And then when they either leave or they pull away, of course, you're going to feel insecure. So there is a heightened difference. And we are going to dissect when a person is actually backpedaling as an exit, as opposed to times when they are regrouping. Okay, so everybody knows that. Happy birthday again. I hope you girls have a wonderful day. ET, I met B, who is a client, was a client in my Munich meet and greet, and ET came with us, so she was there as well. By the way, heads up, anybody going to be in Milan summer of 2025? I will be there for a week. I will be having consultations as well as kicking up my heels, and then in Venice for a couple of days. So keep your eyes open for that. And if you want to know about the newsletter, that's where I tell you all the details and give you discounts to consultations and products and services. So sign up for that on the homepage of susanwinter.net, and then you'll get the inside scoop. So let's talk about this: anxious attachment or justifiable insecurity. Whenever you are left hanging and you don't know what's going on and your partner is being vague, you will be prone to insecurity. Nothing is wrong with you. It is human. It's a normal reaction because humans simply want to know the lay of the land. Yes, no. Are we on? Are we off? The worst thing a person can do is shut down and not talk. So a pause is oftentimes a prelude to bye-bye, I'm out. And that's why it's so rattling for us. The first thing you should do, whether you've known them for 2 days, 6 hours in bed, or you've been dating on and off for 6 months, or you're a couple, you're an established couple, have a conversation. Please don't be afraid to directly speak to them about the unknown, and urge them through your languaging to let them know. Here's where you have to be neutral. You can't come in and attack. I know you want to, but if you attack, you are not going to get the answer. Your goal should be relief. Relief is the answer. Now, it may not be the answer you want, but I promise you it's better than not knowing. Not knowing is what I call that thrashing period. And that's the point where they haven't officially said goodbye, but you feel them pulling away. And it is excruciating because every part of you wants to add hope and believe maybe it's just me, maybe I'm getting reactive, I must be insecure. But your gut is 100% intact, and your gut is reading it truthfully. Something is different, something is off. You do not feel good about this, and they're not giving you any information. Okay? You need to break that. So, this is the first point. You need to break this discomfort with an honest question. Feels like you're pulling away. What does the pause mean, actually? Oh, no, 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 nothing. Now, don't let them be vague. That's stalling the inevitable. Say, please, let's talk for real. If you let them know, I have I have regular speeches here. Like, let them know you're not bad or wrong for wanting what you want. My only goal is to get to the truth. Is there something bothering you? Are you less inclined to be in this relationship? Are you having mixed feelings? What is it? You're not bad or wrong for communicating with me, but I can't move. You can't move. We're not getting anywhere if we're not being honest. And you're going to have to be vulnerable. Okay. But at least remember, at that moment in time, it is not to preserve the relationship. It is to get the information you need to then decide if there is a relationship worth pursuing. Understand? It's information gathering. Hopefully, if you can get that little bit of objective distance, it will help you in the management of this. Does everybody understand what I'm saying so far? Do I need to clarify anything? Okay, Golden Hawk on ice, nonverbal communication. We all pick up somebody's energy. And the thing is, your gut is reading one thing and they're saying something else. We have to cut through, is what they're saying defensiveness and fear that they really do like you, but they're hitting a part of their own emotional discomfort in intimacy that they're running away. I have a recent case of this. I don't want to jump out of order, but I think I'm going to have to here. Listen, let's talk about a segment change. Let's say it's the latter. Let's say you're in a relationship with somebody. They're pulling away and they've just said, let's just put this on pause. And that could mean slow the pace, which could be a legitimate request. When people do that, is because, and when you've done it, and if you're letting somebody else drive the pace too quickly, then you need to be the one that says this. But you need to be very clear about why you are doing this, okay? Because if all you are trying to do is slow the pace so that you can continue to stay grounded and participate, that is beautiful. You are telling your partner, or your partner should be telling you, look, we're getting to a point here where I normally feel engulfed and I want to run. And this time I don't want to run, but it's a lot for me. I need some time out. Now, time out or space or putting a pause, that's not an indefinite thing. So another aspect of this is, how long is this pause? It's not only what is this pause all about, how long is this pause? Because remember, nobody is allowed to put you on hold forever. I have somebody that I've been talking to that is not really a client, but I must say, a beautiful person, a super fan, and a celebrity. Okay. And the way that I know this person is like through the work that I've done. So there's a time in a new relationship where both people get a little glitchy. And this discussion of what is going on is super important. But right before that is your unbelievable fear in speaking up. See, in all of this that I'm instructing, all we're trying to do is get to real communication, because if you don't have real communication, you will never know what's really going on in their head. Now, you know what they say, lead a horse to water doesn't mean that he's going to drink. We don't know that once you open the safety of this conversation, that they will even be able to respond or want to respond. And at that point, your thinking should shift. Instead of trying to maintain, acquire, capture, get this person back in the gate and back in your bed, you got to think a little bit further than that. What does this say about this person's participation in general? Because it's not a one-off. If they want to shut down or bail and not give me any information, why do you think it's going to be better prolonging this relationship? So you have to question now, is this person worth your time, your effort? Because you're not playing on the same level. All right. Now, I've given you a lot of information. If any of you have this specific question about being put on pause, again, we need to back off. Don't beat ourselves up for having insecurity. Try to get an honest conversation where your partner does not feel threatened. You're never, ever, ever going to get information out of them if they feel threatened, if they feel bad, wrong, or that they have to justify. And another thing that I really urge people to do all the time, don't start doing the tit for tat. Well, when you did this and you did that and you pulled away here and you pulled away there, that makes people defensive. Again, your quest the information. Okay? I'm going to read a couple of these things and talk to you. If you have a super chat, make sure you ask me, because then there's also when they don't tell you the question. They don't give you the answer, okay? Let's see. Jyoti, hi. When I show interest in men, yeah, hang on here. Oh, gosh. When I show interest in men, they pull away. The moment I'm disinterested, they chase. Yeah, that's a game. And the people are either young or confused. In a real relationship with somebody who is emotionally mature, they are able to be consistent. We don't want people that want to play these games. This is the excitement for many people, and then to capture you and put you in bed, and then to push you away and have you chase them so that they have a power surge and they feel amazing, and then you get put on a burner in the back of the stove and they just heat you up whenever they want you. So what you are talking about specifically, this type of man is not relationship material. So get that out of your head. There's nothing you can do, because how are you ever going to get into a relationship if all you do is distance, distance, distance? You can never get close. You know this pattern. Congratulations on knowing their pattern. And then Jyoti writes, met a guy on a dating app. He said he wants to date but was distant, drops a bomb saying he's still not over his ex. Okay, I know you don't like that. I would thank him. I would thank him for telling me the truth. How many months did he save you of heartache and not knowing that? Taking calls in the bathroom because he doesn't want you to see it, and then he says it's a work-related thing. So thank you for letting me know this. You need to partner with somebody that has a skill set that matches yours. People think, young people, or people, when I say young, I mean emotionally young, those who are not ready to handle a relationship will do weird stuff. They'll be in and out, they'll play games, they'll be coy. That's not a relationship. And if you are attracting only those types of people, you better fish in another pond. Look for what they all have in common. You'll see a thread or several traits that they all have in common, then go the opposite direction, right? Do something completely opposite. So you understand this is normal to feel insecure when we do not have resolution to something that we thought we were in a relationship, and that you must speak up in a neutral fashion. Your objective is to never make them feel insecure about answering you, because it's better to draw all the information out, yell at them the next day, but at least get the information, okay? All right. So there's a time when they put it on pause because they are doing what I call downgrading the relationship. You've been involved, they're just not as interested. They don't want to get rid of you. They want to keep you, but they don't want to put in as much work. So they're scaring you with putting you on pause, which is now making you want to do more to get them. It's a game. It's the natural tendency. Somebody pulls something away, you go to grab it. Watch children, watch toddlers, right? So this is a game too. And if you let yourself get the relationship downgraded, you're never going to have the relationship you want. So that's a time to actually say, feels like you're trying to downgrade the relationship. Is there something you want to share with me? What's working and what isn't? You have to have these adult, uncomfortable conversations. Yeah? Okay. Anybody else have something for me? Cut the cord. I love this. Dodge the bullet. No, Patrick's tell it like it is, Patrick. Kenny. Susan, you read my mind. My friend just called and wanted advice on this exact thing. Kenny, and why? Now you know what to say, right? Nobody gets to reserve your heart. That's a Susan quote, right? You don't get to do that because maybe I might want you in the future. I'm going to put you on pause because I don't really know what to do with you now. That's not right. It's not fair. It's not cool. It is not allowed in your life. Okay. Here we have something. $20. Who is this for? Is this Richard? This looks like a no. S. Kamet. How are you doing? S. Kamet. Wait, where is this? Okay. Okay, for those of you that don't know, I have lens implants for distance. They are still working on the prescription for my eyes to one is to read and the other is to see the computer. Okay. So bear with me. Is it wise to be in a friendship with an ex that shows a lot of genuine care on everyday basis, behaves like a partner but unable to commit due to external reasons? Or is it wise to cut off completely? I still hold hurt though. This is an ex? Why are we having this conversation? Okay. You have a friendship with an ex that acts like a partner, but is unable to commit. So you're not, so what? You have a friendship? You have a nice friendship with somebody who used to be your lover? But see, your head is still in the fact that they act like a boyfriend. And that's kind of mean on their end because they're reserving you. Exactly what I just said. They're actually reserving you. And so here is my, first of all, thank you for your contribution, sincerely. General rule of thumb, and this will serve as a truth straight across the board. If associating with somebody, anybody, even an ex, creates more chaos, disturbance, anxiety, and insecurity than it should, that is wise to stay away from them, or at least put them in a really different category. But if you are hurting, that means you still have romantic feelings for this person. That means that's a no-go zone for you. Everybody has to figure this out. What's difficult here is that it's conflicting information, right? I'm acting like a partner. I care about you. I'm really sweet. I couldn't commit to being a real partner, but I'm hanging out around you enough that I'm confusing you because you don't have me as a lover. You don't have me as a boyfriend. I'm over my boundary as far as how I am as a friend. And the problem for you is if you were also friendly, but no longer attracted to them, you might be able to pull this off. There are people that hang out with their exes. I'm not saying it's wrong. This is a dispositional decision that only you can make. No Facebook group can help you. The lady at the nail salon doesn't know your answer. Your therapist may not even know. This is one that you have to ask yourself. What does it kick up inside of me? Because we've done a lot of these question and answer on people that say, I feel terrible because my ex, sent me a text and I don't want to be a dick. I want to respond. I don't want to be mean, but I don't know how I feel about it because it's making me feel, it's activating me again. It's triggering me. So that means that's no go. You're not ready. And you never have to be ready. You never have to be friends with your ex if you don't want to. If you don't like them as a person, if you don't like who they are, if you don't like how they handled you, you don't need to do that. Forgive yourself for not knowing. Tighten up your skills as far as being sharp enough to see through. Okay. So do you see what I'm saying? I really thank you for this. This is beautiful. Let me see, get back, dodged a bullet. I'm unsure what to do then. Golden Hawk, where were you? Did you write me something that I missed? Thank you, Gwyneth. I really appreciate. Okay, so Golden Hawk, where is this? You sent me? Okay. Sorry, I'm not sure how to reply. I replied to my own super chat. Okay. Forgive me, everybody. I'm going back here. Golden Hawk, your message was retracted. Do me a favor, write it normally, put it in caps so Susan can find it. Okay, I'll continue on. All right, Golden Hawk, we're looking for your message. All right. Sometimes there's a segment change in the relationship. This happened with my very special person that I like so much as a friend. Okay, well, as an acquaintance and as a friend. Um, in the relationship, it was established, I love you, you love me, we're together. Okay. Then the pulling away. And so he's like, okay, first I'm trying to just say, okay, maybe I'm just getting insecure, maybe I'm overreacting, but something was off. So you know this person a certain way and all good. Now, in the next phase of your relationship, you literally feel them pulling away. They've somehow emotionally, psychologically put you on pause. But you know what the worst thing is? They're still seeing you, but it's not the same. It doesn't feel the same. It doesn't, now you're writing like, oh God, do I say anything? Because I sound so weak and needy. Oh, I have to say something because I won't know what's going on. We went over the texting and we went over the conversations and we got the sound bites. Now he was ready to walk because he's like, this is not how I do relationships, right? I was so proud of him. And don't you know, they were both scared. She said she was scared. That's her thing, is to pull away. The beauty of having a conversation. But mark this, because this is super important. Because he has high self-esteem and because he's done a lot of work on himself. Years ago, he might have been pandering and following and like trying not to be a problem and trying to disregard his feelings. But now he knows this doesn't feel right. No, this doesn't feel right. This day, this day, this day. These actions aren't right. You could have been with me here. You weren't with me here. I don't feel included. All these things. No, it's not just me being neurotic or scared or reactive or having, attachment issues that I'm overly eager to attach. It's not that. There's something here. And then we go into the no, it's fine. I'm all good. Maybe I'm a little tired. Maybe I'm a little busy. Now you get the excuses, right? So you go through the excuse phase. Now you don't want to look like, okay, well, I addressed it. They said nothing's wrong. So I guess nothing's wrong. So I was being crazy. And then they say something, were you feeling something? No, no, we're good. Because now you're not talking about it, right? It takes a real conversation to get past that. So you all know what I'm talking about, right? When you feel that weird stuff and you don't want to bring it up, and sometimes you'll ask them or they'll ask you and you deny it, they deny it. Now you're both in the denial game, but it's still. So the cure, they both got really vulnerable. Okay. She said why she was pausing. He's like, accepted. I want to be in this. I love you. They're back. Okay. I have doubts about this only because if this is the default, that's a lot to get over. It'll happen again. If they can find their way back to that kind of a conversation, it can go to the next thing. So sometimes what I'm saying is, in an existing relationship, there can be a pause in the architecture of the development of coupledom. Okay. Someplace as they've agreed, you're in partnership and you're riding the curve, but now there's a glitch, and new relationships always have this weird stuff. So it's very hard to find the truth. So somebody has to be honest. Okay. I hope that answers things for you. Let me see. There's two here. What is this? Escamat. Okay, we've done this. There's somebody else here. Let me see if I can get to this. Golden Hawk, we're still looking for you. Okay, thank you for your help, Susan and Gwyneth. I know I don't. Oh, I want to say that, okay, finally, finalmente, we found this. Golden Hawk, thank you. I want to say that 90% of about 100 guys I talked to online said they wanted a serious relationship. Oh, yeah. Okay, I know where this is going. But their actions showed they were just wanting something casual. It's gotten so bad. Why? Because a lot of people are putting up with it. Male, female, straight, gay. You know, everybody knows, and guys will tell me, they always say they're looking for a relationship. And actually, the preference for most is to play. Well, worse yet, not just to play, to have absolutely no emotional responsibility. A relationship requires uncomfortable conversations. A relationship requires sometimes your partner's calling you out. And, and maybe they get their feelings hurt. And while you wanted to hang out with the bros for 6 days in a row and not text them, they're like, oh, I'm not having this, you know? So there's a lot of management of the other person's feelings. I'm taking this into consideration that perhaps one person's healthy, okay, in the relationship. And it is the taking on of the burden of being responsible for the collateral damage. When you initiate with somebody intimately and you have an agreement or you're in process to defining the relationship, um, this will oftentimes come out that, yeah, the real intention was to have sex and hope that you're going to be okay with it. But it would have been so much easier for this person to just say what they really want because there are enough people online. And believe me, if you think in the straight world that women don't want sex, you are so wrong. I've known women that have come out of long-term marriages. I know women that just don't want to be with a guy. They don't want anyone in their bed. I mean, these are young, hot women. They're in their career. They've got one job for you, and they're very explicit about it. But normally the women say it. So if you have indicated that you want a relationship and they are coming on to you like they want one, and then, bait and switch, you have every right to tell them that you're really disappointed. You thought they were a, better guy than that. And they could have just been honest and maybe gotten lucky. I'd spank them with that. If you'd just been honest, I might have taken a roll with you. But now you pissed me off, and now I don't want anything to do with you because you don't have the courage to be honest. And I don't like that. That's not a man to me. I'm looking for somebody who's strong enough to be honest. Okay, whatever you need to do, you can spank back and forth. It's not right. I mean, what would you do if you went in to buy a Maybach and you open up the hood and you realize they put in, a golf cart motor? I mean, like, it's just not fair. You can't misrepresent yourself. Okay, now back to, let me see if I can get to this. Okay, all right, so good. We found that. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you. Okay, Golden Hawk had a lot of stuff. Take it away. Let's see. Patrick is here. Um, Okay, Kenny. Okay, Wouter. Wouter, this is all about you. Wouter's in the house. Wouter, thanks so much for answering. Love your work. I love this. I love this. See, y'all, I do answer your emails. So if you're going through spam, it's going to have my name. It's going to say Susan Winter answer. Oh God, I hope scammers don't use that. But I mean, it'll sound like me. It'll look like me. It'll sound like me. So this is a thing that's important. Thank you so much. Wouter, I think he was done. I mean, there's not a lot here with this. I'm just guessing. I hope that's okay. Here's how I would really frame it. You had this beautiful trip, kind of like, the cherry on top of the sundae and a little bit extra. And a little kind of a intrigue, little kind of a sexual spark that happened, which is lovely. So if we let it be that and we do our own compartmentalization. See, they compartmentalized you, but you can do this for yourself to mentally assist yourself in the healing. Sometimes we have to see that it is what it is, but it doesn't mean that we are less. We're not less because they couldn't be more. That's another thing. I said numerous times to the players, I won't be less just because you can't be more. I won't. And, for all of you, Golden Hawk too, don't be less just because they can't be more. Keep being what you want to attract. If you want a relationship, keep being in a relationship. If you want to keep seeing them, I love, Wouter, the fact that you said, hey, you were really vulnerable. We've got one more night. Let's sleep together. Stay with me. It was the I like you. You're more than just a hookup. I want to be with you. This is more meaningful to me. And that person just went, I don't like swimming in the deep end. I want the shallow end. Right? So you're the finer person here. You've got more capacity, more depth. You're just playing with somebody. I hope this guy was really cute because he didn't have a lot in the inside. Even if he's smart, he's just not honest. So that means a lot to me. In the end of the day, I got a shortcut for finding the most perfect relationship in the world. And you might have heard this before, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating it, but it bears saying again. The number one thing you need to look for is a fine human being. If they live by a code of behavior that means they are a decent human being, everything from to the porter, to the guy with the halal stand on the street, to the cab driver, to a relative, to the little old lady, they opened the door at the bank for her. That is a fine human being, not to virtue signal, not because somebody might see them and think, oh my God, what a nice person, but because they really, really, really are that kind of a person in a relationship will have their stomach turning inside out if they think they're hurting you. They can't do it. They're a really fundamentally fine, good, ethical, fair human. That is the quality we are all looking for because you've just kicked out 99% of the bullshit you have to deal with, right? That's it. If you can find that, you got it. All right, who do we have? Jeff Phillips, $10. You wonderful person. Jeff, thank you so much. Do you have a question for me? Let's see. Hey, Susan, on my second date with a 39-year-old man, he said, sorry, you seem great, but you're too old to bear a child. I just turned 40. This crushed my ego, and I cried all night. But wait, let's review this. This person should have said, I'm looking to create a family. This is not rejecting you. You might be 40, but he's looking for something very specific. And I don't dislike the fact that he is intentional, but he evidently could have asked you these things before you ever even met. But see, they're greedy. He didn't want to. But in a way, I have to respect him because at least he was truthful. This is a second date. Why didn't he say on the first date, my intention is to get married and have a family? But, it's okay. He's not your match. It's not your fault you're 40. You finally, on a second date, thank God, is not 6 months in and you're feeling horrible because the man you're in love with now tells you that he's enjoyed the ride. But, listen, I really want a broodmare, so it's not going to be you because that would be horrible. I'm not upset about him, and you shouldn't be upset. They're two separate issues. Again, I'm hitchhiking. You're going to Detroit. I want to go to Pasadena. Are you wrong for wanting what you want? Am I wrong for wanting what I want? No, we're just going in different directions. So I would do that, reframing it in your mind. It wouldn't have worked anyway. Don't cry all night. Next time, go online and book a session with me. We can get rid of this right away. Jeff Phillips, hi, Susan. Able to park the big truck. Okay, so Jeff is so wonderful. He parks the big truck. The man gave me money, doesn't even, hasn't even asked a question here. At DeKalb Rest Stop. Okay, great show. Doing good, getting over ex who didn't value me. Done with the hope. I developed better self-esteem, able to let broken cookie go. I love this. I love this. This is fabulous. This is fabulous. Oh my God. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And by the way, there's a lot of really lovely support inside here for each other. I see what you're all writing to each other. we get really good people here. So I have to thank all of you for being so absolutely wonderful. All right, so let me go back here. Wouter, love the fact that you could actually join us today. Another thing I love is when I've done somebody's video, and like the Tuesdays when I do that for the pre-recorded, and they write a comment and say, "Oh my God, this is my video." Because sometimes I haven't retained the email address. I put this all in a Word doc, like, oh, I want to do this, or maybe their email has changed. I love that. So I'm happy that you're seeing that I am actually answering you. Okay. Just saying hi, Jeff. Your whole show had great advice. Thank you, Susan. He never communicated. You are right. I am well in my career and a good catch, I think, but I'm so hurt. I had to listen to this nonsense from a stranger. I feel less valued as a woman. Well, no. Okay. All right. Let's make this for everybody who's ever felt rejected by somebody that didn't see who they were. Why are you making it about you? I mean, I know you were rejected, but you feel less valued as a woman because he wants a broodmare, right? Because he wants to make a baby. Like, that's kind of pretty easy to do with a lot of people. He never told you. So why is the burden on you? Now, there are a lot of people who would love to have a woman who brings something to the table, that they don't have to be the sole provider, who is somebody that they're proud of. What about the guy that you're not talking about yet that is so proud of you? And when you go to a party, he talks about what you do. Oh my God, she's so amazing. I mean, you should see her with her clients and her job. Everybody loves her. She's incredible. That's your guy, not some guy who wants to go make babies. Okay? So the valuation scale isn't fair. Look at, if I went online and put my real age, what do you think I would get as far as feedback? So I can't compete in that area, and I wouldn't want to, because I would be more than that and not right for many people. And I completely understand. It's not their fault. It's not. It's just we want different things. Okay? Nobody wants to be rejected. And I'm not minimizing your response. But when you start to get triggered by somebody that you don't even know that rejected you, that kind of really wasn't that honest in the beginning, we have to back up and ask ourselves, what were they really looking for? Did they outwardly state it? Are they dating intentionally? Or did they just muck about and get us like whooped up, and then they like, oh, sorry, out of here. This guy. Okay. It's like walking into a store that you're not going to buy anything. You're just kind of tugging on things and opening up the sweaters and putting them back and not even folding them properly. I'm the person who tries to fold this sweater back the right way if I pick it up. So anyway, okay, here we go. Onward and upward. I'm seeing this wonderful lady, Peter says. And she told me honestly that she's still getting over her ex. Okay, I guess I am the rebound and having great sex with her, but should I put this on pause or leave? Peter, thank you for this. What do you want? Why are you dating? Did you want more? She can't offer more, but the sex is pretty good. And you're not that emotionally distraught that you're up at night wondering if she's talking to her ex, then it's doable. Again, this goes back to what I said before. You have to know your disposition to know if you can take that ride. Okay? In love, like I told my friend last night, and the night before, I actually left my phone open till like 11 o'clock for him because he's on the West Coast. So I said, look, I'm so proud of you because you took the leap and you recovered. And this was a big emotional I'm all in when he thought he had to call it off and was fully with it. So always ask yourself, if it crashes and burns, can I take this ride? Am I okay with that? And be honest. Some of you can't afford a risky relationship in that you so need stability and safety and security. You can't tread water. There is no right or wrong answer here. Please, I have zero judgment on any decision. It is only you. What can you do? What do you want? What makes you happy? What can you tolerate? And to be honest, sometimes you don't know until you do it and you're like, I can't afford to do this. I can't. So, Peter, if you're having a good time, your only issue, you don't need, from what you're saying, I don't think you need to leave it if you don't have, like, if you find yourself at night sitting around wondering where she is and what she's doing and if she's over her ex, and are you the rebound having great sex? Is that okay with you? Okay. Okay. If you are intentionally looking for a committed relationship with somebody who will be by your side and they will be faithful to you and they're locked and loaded and ready, willing, and able, you got the wrong girl. But otherwise, you don't. Okay. So what do we have here? Wouter, €6. Hi, Wouter. You're back again. And again, this whole show today was for Wouter, who got put on pause. Okay. I'm watching on replay. You are spot on, Susan. Afterwards, whilst chatting, he was disrespectful. I moved on. I always dreamt of experiencing this. Okay. Let me read this again. He was disrespectful. I moved on. Can I give you a huge congratulations? I love these two sentences next to each other. He was disrespectful. I moved on. This is finding our right fit and keeping high self-esteem in the midst of all of this means reassessing what we assume is our loss, our failure, our I'm not young enough, I'm not old enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not rich enough, I'm not interesting enough, I'm bad in bed, I'm not good enough in bed, I'm too uptight, I want too much. All this, I mean, isn't it silly? Think about it. Somebody doesn't want some aspect of what you want. And so you think that it's a judgment about all of you, like being worthless. This random person, one in billions of people, chooses to go another direction. So you're completely, totally worthless. Now your self-esteem dives. Oh my God, do I have a lot to say about that? So self-esteem, high self-esteem simply means that you can tolerate the winds of change. One minute they love you, the next minute they don't. It's kind of shitty to have it happen, but it will happen. And at the end of the day, you've got yourself because their opinion of you cannot be greater or of more importance than your opinion of yourself. Okay. Let's see. Jesse M, $5. Thank you for the clarity. Jesse, that's fantastic. I so thank you. First time I've seen you here. Maybe you said something before. I'm so excited that Wouter is with us. Oh my gosh. So if y'all write me and I do one of these, please show up because I will write you back. Okay. Jesse, could you share healthy clues or scenarios when you should give your ex a second chance? I love you, Susan. Jesse, answering you, absolutely. After the first time I asked, a week or so later, he invited me out again. So I asked again. He told me my texts were overwhelming. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, wait, these are two different Jessies. Wait, I got to read Jesse M. I read Jesse, the other Jesse. Okay, hang on here, Jesse. Okay, Jesse M. Let me go back to this because, okay. This couldn't have come at a better time. I was seeing someone for a couple of months, but was put on the back burner, too busy with work. Yeah. Well, I tried to ask for clarity on friends or more. Then he says, after the first time I asked, a week or so later, he invited me out. Okay, so he still likes the sex. So I asked again, and he told me my texts were overwhelming and smothering. Thank you for the clarity. Okay. Okay, wait, I got you confused with the other Jesse. All right, so we're good here, right? Okay, so forgive me, that's a Jesse glitch. Okay, on to the other Jesse. Okay, or Jessa, it says. Okay, new lenses, remember. Can you share healthy clues and scenarios when you should give your ex a second chance? Okay, here we go. There we go with this. If the thing that divided you was something external that neither one of you could control, like they had to go work in, I don't know, Dubai for 2 years, and you really wanted to be together, but it was just, you maybe even tried it long distance, you're just like, I can't. If the thing that, if the reasons for the breakup are solvable now because external factors have changed, that might be okay. Let's say somebody is too overwhelmed taking care of an aging sick parent, or too overwhelmed because they've got kids. They love you, they want to be with you, they know they can't make you a priority. They're just like, they're insane. But it's a real story, not too busy at work business. Maybe they're, have a startup, and it's for no lack of love. It's just that, like, I've got to do this thing. I have to do this. I hate doing this to you. So was the breakup the cause something that can now be given a second chance because both of you are in different places? This normally works best when there's a little bit of time in between, Jessa, so that the changes that needed to occur have occurred. Otherwise, people tend to recycle their ex simply because they're lonely, they haven't had sex for a while, they've dated a few people, you're comfortable, they like being with you, so you're thinking of doing it again. Or maybe you're thinking of the same reasons. Look, at the holidays are coming up, I don't want to be alone. It wasn't that bad. I shouldn't have gotten rid of him. I don't know all the details to this, so I'm kind of just, guessing here. If they had good behavior, generally, if they tried to affect conflict resolution with you, if they were communicative, and of course, all the basics. Like if you're in a monogamous relationship and they were monogamous, if you established a foundation of let's be honest with each other and they were honest with you. People have stuff that happens inside them that is their own evolution. And that can be another reason why they can't be with you. Somebody's fighting the fact that they feel engulfed or controlled or claustrophobic in a relationship, and they get away as their escape to like, and then they're like, oh my God, what did I do? This was the best person. I just scared myself. So if the reason for the breakup was what you think legitimate, either externally based and now it's fixed, or something inside them that they have evolved through, then that is time to reconsider. Also, if you are questioning, especially if you dump them, did I act in haste? Is it something in me that got freaked out? Am I the guilty party here? Normally, it's not a bad thing to review once. If there's a doubt, you want to review, you will find out fairly quickly. When people who've been apart get together, again, of course, the sex is phenomenal and all is good for a couple days or a week. Then what happens normally is the same stuff that was an issue before. When the bubble wears off of the newness and the excitement and the hope that it's going to be different, you end up in the same place. Now, some people need a second confirmation that it can't work. So I am all about you getting resolution, not getting in a loop, but getting the answers you need. And if a second exploration with a healthy person that was not abusive or cruel to you is what you need because somebody was glitchy, then I can endorse that. I hope that helps. Again, remember everybody, with a couple sentences, I'm shooting it from 1,000 different angles, but I'm hoping in the splattering of all this information, that anybody listening might get their answer as well. Okay, let's see where we are. Oh, we're coming up on the hour. So did I say everything? Um, okay, let me make sure. Let me go back to any of your questions. If you have any, I don't see any word. That's the kicker. We didn't have sex. Wow. Okay, anybody else have more questions? I don't know, maybe this is just jammed up here. I want to make sure. Okay, here's something else. Jessa, I know I know to date you have to know what you want, but any tips on the process of figuring out what you truly want from a partner? I don't trust myself anymore. Just that maybe you just don't trust the people you've met, which are making you doubt yourself. Okay, you've done the work to know all that you want to achieve in a relationship. Okay, great. Um, so what was it? Let's see. Tips on process. So you know the way humans figure out what they want from their "I don't want this again" list. So it's a fun little question to take a sheet of paper and write out what I don't want to experience again. One, like I never want like a person that won't call me back. I never want somebody who's always a half hour late and never respects my time. I never want somebody who wants me to do things in bed that I don't want to do and makes me feel like if I don't do this, I can't be with them. I don't want. So that's your list of I don't want. But here's where the powerful thing happens in the transformation where you start to figure out what you do want. So you do the opposite. You write out, I want somebody who's interested in what I want in bed and finding a way for us to do this together, something mutually enjoyable that never pushes my boundaries so I feel unsafe or insecure. I want somebody who's truly loving and sensitive to me. Um, I want somebody who returns my text messages and calls me. I want somebody who's on time because they value me. So that's your I want list. Okay. And if you say you don't trust yourself anymore, I think what you really did is that you've got a really big list. And I think also another fun thing to do with this list is you start to look for the patterns in these different people. Another thing is what pool, what pond are you looking at? What's your selection process? Where are you getting these people from? Because another thing is to look at all the people that have disappointed you and write out basic characteristics that they had that were most egregious. So then, like this one, selfish, narcissist, selfish, self-indulgent, da, da, da. It's like, oh, I need somebody who's really loving. Okay. So that'll also tell you the character that you would like to find in a person. And that takes observation. Okay. So everybody, we've come to the end of the hour. I had something I was going to talk about. I'm not going to have time to do this now, but we are asking questions because we are decoding the cause, right? Don't be afraid to ask questions. You're not insecure for doing so. And people do sometimes regroup in an effort to advance forward. And that can only be done by having the conversation really honestly about what is their default, where are they going? Is this discomfort because you're in something that's real this time and it scares you? Are you pausing because it's a lack of interest or you're done? Just if you can get the person to the point where they are comfortable enough to tell you the real deal, please, if they tell you honestly, don't be mad. Not the first, they should be commended. Like maybe they should have said it a year earlier, but getting the information and having them be honest, you should at least say, thank you for letting me know. I knew something was up. And it's not the way I wanted it to roll out. I really, really care for you, or I'm going to go home and cry. But listen, I cannot tell you how happy I am to know that like what I was feeling is real. So that is the most valuable thing we can do is to not throw off somebody else's radar by lying to them. And it's really hard because nobody is comfortable saying I'm not interested to somebody else, or I've seen enough, not enough here for me, I'm kind of done. Like, what excuse do you find? But remember, if you're doing the dumping or you're doing the distancing, they need an excuse. If your distancing is because you're really exiting, be kind. A clean cut is the fairest. It really is. But suck it up, but make sure that you mean what you say. Don't go, leaving then like, oh, I don't know, I was wrong, and then leaving like, oh, I'm lonely. Blah, blah. If you're ready to leave, make sure you can back it up, right? And keep moving. So I hope this helps you. Those of you on pause, nobody gets to reserve you. You do not wait for another person to figure out whether you're worthy. Got it? We never wait for that person because those people cannot see you. Wherever you're resonating, whatever you're doing, like they just don't get it. And if you have to convince somebody of your worth, you've already lost. That's self esteem. Being honest, being truthful, having the power to admit all these things, that's self esteem. Okay, let me see. So, everybody, we're going to, did I miss anybody here? I want to make sure I got to everybody. Brian, thank you. Escamat says, I think, okay, here we go. One more time. I think we also sometimes think we want some things because we were told we should want it. Yes. Sometimes in the process, we find out that we truly want and do not want. Yeah, I'm doing a whole series of new videos that you're going to see. It's called The Approval Prison, because this affects us on so many different levels. And I'm moving, I'll always do this, but I've done so much on relationships, all of you. I mean, my God, 1,000+ videos, thousands of articles. Oh my Lord. I want to start talking in connection with that about self-esteem, about where your self-esteem lies and how to disconnect from all the machinery around us in commerce and in social media and in people's collective wisdom that they want to share with you, how to free yourself and function from an original solid place that is not as easily affected by the winds of whomever likes you or whatever style clothes you're wearing, or if you're in fashion or you're making enough or you're not making enough or what house you live in. Because that whole thing, we can all say it, but are you still getting triggered by the stuff you're seeing on Instagram? Are you still getting triggered by what you're hearing that people say? Because it's so endemic in our society. It's so baked in to the culture. Because we would have zero commerce whatsoever if you didn't think you really needed that thing they're selling to make you better. Really. Okay. So we're going to go into a lot of discussions about that. I want to thank Gwyneth, who is here with us today, and it's her birthday. And I don't know whether it's today's her birthday or another day's her birthday, but couldn't do this without Gwyneth and B, my wonderful moderators. Again, if you want to work with me, don't suffer. Happy to work with you here. But if you really want to knock it out and get the whole thing done, and another thing I do that those of you who've worked with me, as I'm ending our conversation, I quickly prepare you for what's going to happen next. So you don't need to call me a second time. I mean, I'm thrilled if you do, but oftentimes people resolve the initial problem. But when you can see 5 steps ahead, if I leave you there, it's kind of a not nice thing to do. So I try to prepare you for what they're going to do next, what they're going to say next, what might happen. This could happen. Make sure you do this. That could happen. Make sure you do that. Okay. So also make sure that you take a look at the merch line. We're going to have big sales this month. And that is because these are some of the phrases that I want you to remember, whether it's on a sticker on your refrigerator or it's on a gym bag. Some are funny. Some are like, keep the dream, replace the person, have it in your coffee mug. Also, we've got Breakup Triage, and I really do like that. It's only 33 minutes. I recorded it with Johnny a number of years ago, and I think it's the best 33 minutes to get you out of pain. I really do. And certainly consider a consultation. Sign in to the newsletter so that I can communicate with you and tell you where I am when I'm traveling the world and seeing people, and give you some discounts that the regular people don't see. I will see you here next week. Wouter, thank you for joining us. And again, if you have questions, go to the contact page of susanwinter.net, and maybe I'll pull yours up and do it here or on the podcast at the Susan Winter Show. So thank you, everybody, and I'll see you next week. Mwah. Bye-bye now. Thank you so much for your contributions. Oh. I can't go yet. Joe Ryder, $5, right under the wire. I got to address you before I leave. Hi, Susan. I'm looking for a relationship. If they don't show excitement to get to know me, is that a red flag? Thanks for the guidance. Well, they should show interest. I don't know what kind of excitement you mean, but Joe, it's got to be mutual. If you're doing all the work, you should feel a natural connection. So when we say connection, what we mean is there's a resonance between the two of us. Something's clicking. And if they're attracted to you physically and something's clicking mentally, personality wise, yes, then ask them out. And if they say yes, yes. But if you are finding that people are kind of pushing you away, just walk. This is not somebody we want to invest in. So, yes, a person should be interested. A person should be encouraging you. If you ask them out instead of saying, I don't know, like I have to really look at my schedule. I'm not sure. I might be. That's a bullshit line. Somebody who really wants to go out with you and they aren't playing games would say, yeah, I really like that. That's a real person's answer. Somebody who knows themselves and isn't afraid to be authentic. That's like, yeah, I'd like that. What were you thinking? This week, next week? And they'll help you and they will participate in the relationship. Okay. So now I am going. Okay, everybody. I will see you here next week. Oh, and one of these days, one of these Thursdays is a Thanksgiving. I'm going to be online. Yeah, while you're all eating your, pumpkin pie in America, it's our American Thanksgiving. I'll be here, okay, with all of you because sometimes that's a perfect time. Maybe it's your parents' house, you're getting triggered by stuff, you're with family, maybe you're with your partner's family and they trigger you and check in. We'll have something going on here, okay? See you all next week. Take care. Bye-bye now.